My name is Auguste Paia, and I'm a PhD candidate in the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. And I'm from Italy, as has been said, and it's great to be here today to share my experience with you.
Okay, my name is Fei, and I'm from mainland China. I'm going to be a third-year PhD in economics. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you, Faye Agres. So as the host, I have two questions in mind that I want to ask you. So as many of our awardees here are new to Hong Kong and UST, so for them to get a head start, do you have any quick tips for them?
Yes, so maybe a quick tip for someone who just settled in Hong Kong would be explore the city. For example, you will be surprised about how many opportunities you will find in Hong Kong. Just to share my experience with you, at first I was really looking for, I was craving for a good pizza here, and exploring the city, I could find the good restaurants in downtown. So that's my tip, explore the city.
So food is one of the main concerns.
Yes, first it was.
Yeah, actually many good Italian restaurants in Hong Kong. Yeah, keep exploring, or if you like Italy food, just get Agnes for advice. Okay, Faye?
Okay, for me, I think my tip will be more general. So my suggestions for the newcomer here is that to relax, but not too relaxed. I guess for the first 2 months, you can explore Hong Kong, mingling with your peers, and make some friends. But after first 2 months, try to settle down and get down to earth and do the research. After all, it's all about research that PhD really is about, right?
Okay, thank you, Faye. Relax, but not too relaxed. That is the advice from Faye. Okay, as you both have been here for 2 years, right? So if you have to name one thing, what would be the most rewarding part of your research life so far? Can you share with us?
Yes, so I think that so far the most rewarding has been the participation to conferences. Indeed, that wouldn't be possible without my professor support, but at the same time, we need some funding. So without the research travel grant from the HKPFS, I wouldn't have been able to go there. So, and I think research conferences are really important for us, because you can get to know researchers working in your same field, and at the same time you can start some collaborations. And also you will have the opportunity to travel a little bit and see places you haven't been before.
I totally agree. I totally agree with Sergis. Like in my case, in my first year, I have attended a conference and presented one of my paper. And I also attended a summer institute. That's the expense were all covered by the Hong Kong PF travel grant. And in my second year, that's the last semester, I was recommended to an exchange program to Princeton. And since the Princeton side cannot provide me with any funding, so without monthly stipend of Hong Kong PF and Overseas Research Award, it would never be possible for me to cover the living expense in place like New Jersey. So I'm really grateful to that.
Thank you, Faye Agres. I think PhD study is not only about study, it's also about exposure. I don't know if you guys know that as a PhD fellowship awardees, beside the regular stipends, every year you got additional $10,000 for you to attend conference overseas. So that would be a very valuable experience for you to travel around the world and get your connection and then explore. So besides myself asking questions, I know some new awardees here do have some questions for you both. May I now invite two of them on stage, David and James. And James is from Korea.
Yes.
He first came to USC as a visiting intern. Now he's going to start a PhD in physics. And David is from Hong Kong. He actually finished his bachelor and master here in UST. Now he's going to pursue his PhD degree in environmental science. So I know you both have some questions for our guest student today. So pass the time to you.
Okay, so based on my experience in South Korea, all PhD candidates are really surrounded with heavy tasks. So it seems like they don't have such a hobby. So how to maintain the balance between the leisure and the research life?
Okay, maybe I can ask this question. So I think this is a very good question because, as you can imagine, we will spend a lot of time in the lab, and as you can imagine as well, not every day will be as we wish. So the stress will accumulate, and therefore some side activities are really necessary to balance our life. Something you can enjoy in Hong Kong, as you can see from pictures here, would be some hiking activities, cycling, as well as some water sports like sailing or kayaking. And I think this is very good to have a break from your research as well as to get to know new people, and therefore I strongly suggest that.
And when I see the picture, you have some company to hike each other. So how to find them, like just a landmate or some?
That's quite easy since Hong Kong there are many people, and it's quite easy to find maybe among your classmates or your research group, some people that enjoy the same activities such as hiking.
Thank you.
Seems like you have a very balanced life here, Agnes. And David?
Well, being awarded the very prestigious HKPF is not easy. And my question is, does this award put additional pressure on you? And if it does, how did you tackle it?
I'll answer this question. I guess there is pressure, but the pressure isn't really come from outside. It's really from inside. You have to live up to your own expectation because you have to earn the regards of others because you already received this award. So I have to say that receiving this award doesn't mean that you're placed into a safe. There's no guarantee that you can get a PhD in the end. So I would say you have to strive to your best, to try your best to get the PhD degree and also live this 5 years very fruitfully. So I guess that's my answer. And also about how to coping with the pressure, I think try to think of your work of value. Try to do something valuable, not to think of your work as a way of being successful. It will bring you more pressure, I guess.
Okay, thank you. May I ask, did your supervisor put additional pressure on you just because you are the awardee of HKPF?
We have so many supervisors here today.
I hope he or she is not here.
Maybe not here. So I think so. My professors, they do put additional pressure on me because they have high expectation on me. So that's why they give me so much opportunities, like recommend me to Princeton, like recommend me to all kinds of conferences.
Does it help there?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Faye here is giving a very authentic feedback. PhD study is actually a self-discovery journey, and it's usually about your passion in research. The pressure is usually self-imposed, I think. So, James and David, are you excited to get started of your study?
Yes.
Do you have any goal or expectation in mind about your study life here? Say a few words about it.
Well, my research area is in air pollution, and indeed the science behind the air pollution is very complex and remain highly uncertain. So I hope my research will discover more hidden causes behind air pollution, which in return help the government to devise more optimized control strategies to make our environment become safer for human beings. And another goal I have is that I'm eager to share with people the role of scientific research in improving the quality of life. So by doing so, I hope more and more local people will become more engaged and become more interested in doing scientific research and come to UST together and do more big research in our university and make Hong Kong being a good research center in the future.
Wow, wow, wow. the first time I hear about that, I'm actually very touched about his vision. As a Hong Kong young person here, I think he really do have something to do for the better life of Hong Kong. Yeah.
So I encourage South Korean people to come Hong Kong. Actually, my research field is atomic physics, and I try to find what humankind do in the ultra cold regime. I'm in the really cold, extremely cold limit temperature, and I'm really honored that I do that kind of challenge in this university, and also. When I did a visiting internship in this university 2 years ago, I felt that this university is really good for the international students. So maybe I can be some kind of cultural ambassador between South Korea and Hong Kong. So I can introduce K-pop to Hong Kong and introduce dim sum to Korea. Yeah, like that. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Hong Kong people are very fancy about the Korean stuff, as far as I know. So, Agnes and Faye, for you as the big brother and big sister here, do you have the final piece of advice, just summarize in one sentence for all the fellows here?
Okay, maybe I will suggest to keep the communication with your peers and supervisors alive during your research.
Be in communication with the supervisor and your peers. Yeah. Faye?
For me, I would say be open-minded and explore all the possibilities in your life.
Okay, be open-minded. Okay, thank you again, Agnes, Faye, David, and James for being with us today.